well, almost good afternoon. It's almost noon here. It's Emily from Doe Deer Nursery, and welcome back to another week in my Reborn studio. I wanted to quickly give you guys a glimpse of who I'm going to be working on this week and probably over the next few weeks. As you can see on the left and right are the ever famous Twin A and Twin B by Bonnie Brown. Twin A on the left is a custom order, and Twin B on the right is just a kit I've had for quite some time, and I believe I will be making as a make-to-sell baby. And in the middle we have the tiny Preemie Camden by Donna Lee. I just opened up his eye sockets to try on these super cute newborn blue 18mm eyes, which look very sweet on him. As you can see, he's definitely a preemie size. It always surprises even me just how small they are. It's like, you know how small 16 inches is when you order the kit, but then when it gets here, you're almost surprised to see it's even smaller than you envisioned. But he's going to be super cute. So I'm excited to work on all of these kits. This is going to be the first time I try working on 3 kits at once, which I've decided to do simply because I found I have quite a bit of downtime in between baking each kit. And so I wanted to see if maybe it'll speed things up and make me a bit more productive if I'm working on 3 at a time. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so all 3 kits so far have received their blue undertones and veining. I also did neutralizing on Camden just because he was definitely a peachier vinyl color. So what I'm going to be moving on to now is mottling on all 3 kits, and I want to show you the colors I'm going to be starting with. So these are the first 6 colors I'm going to be doing. I know it seems like a lot. I have at least 4 more colors I'll probably end up doing as well, but I just find I get the best depth and tone variation when I really mix up with my colors. You can even see that some of them are quite similar, but I think making the colors subtly different really makes a difference with the end result. So what I tend to do is apply 3 layers, so I'll probably do these 3 first. I also go ahead and do some undertones as I do the mottling. So for example, I'll add some purple undertones to the inside of the mouth, creases of the eyes, inner ears, things like that, and then mottle. And then once that's flashed off, I'll do the yellow undertones on like the nose and the chin, and then I'll do yellow mottling. Then I'll go in with this kind of brick red and do more undertones on the eyes, around the nose, anywhere where I want to start to build some warmer colors, and then mottle with that. And then once those 3 layers are all flashed off, I'll bake. And once the kit's cooled, I do the next 3 layers. So I'm just going to work my way through all 3 kits, doing all 6 layers of mottling. This is what each kit looks like after 6 layers of mottling. I didn't really get to do much else. Usually on the first day I try and get through the first layers of mottling, flush wash, and creasing, But because I'm now working with 3 kits at a time, it definitely takes longer to get through it. But what is good though is I feel like I'm being more productive overall, because by the time I finish with one kit and I'm ready to start on the next one, it's already completely cooled, so I don't have any wait time in between working on kits. So that's really great. I'm going to show you quickly close up. Twin A with 6 layers. You can see the lips are starting to pink up. Little Camden here, who looks so cute and petite. And Twin B. So this is where I'm going to be stopping for today, and hopefully I'll get a chance to get back to them again this week before I leave town. So today is Tuesday, and it's painting day 2 on this set of 3 Preemie babies, Twin B, Twin A, and Camden. I just want to quickly show you where we kind of left off the last painting day. They did get, I believe, the first 6 layers of mottling, as well as undertones, veining, and just kind of preliminary shading. You can see their lips are starting to pink up. There's some more color on the eyelids, so they are coming along. Here's little Camden here too. I notice his vinyl doesn't seem to pick up the color quite as readily as the twin kits do, so I'm going to be working on giving him a little bit heavier detailing so that he looks to be at about the same stage as the other 2. So I think what I'm going to start with first is doing my first few layers of flesh wash to kind of bring their skin tone to the shade I like, and then we're going to work on creasing. So all 3 of these babies are going to be fair to light Caucasian, and I don't want to do too many flesh wash layers because it can end up looking chalky if you end up applying layer after layer of flesh wash. So I've gone ahead and mixed up a color that's a bit darker than what I would want to see their skin tone be. But the reason for this is it's going to go on very, very thin. I'm going to show you on Twin B. Let me get my sponge ready. So I'm taking this big brush, and fairly quickly I want to brush it on over the whole head. You don't have to be perfect with this, simply because you're going to go in with your sponge. So as I swipe this on with the brush, I'm going to see more color and more pigment than is actually going to be there once I blot with the sponge. The sponge is going to pick up a lot of the color and take it away from the vinyl. So what you see going on initially is not actually what the color is going to look like at the end of the layer. So I'm going to try and show you while I still have time. You can definitely see a color difference between the 2 now. It's a little hard to tell because of the shine that the thinner gives, but it's definitely gotten more color. But when I take the sponge and start pouncing, it's pulling a lot of that color off. And a really good indicator of where your color is going and kind of how different it looks from the previous layers is to look at the neck flange, because that part should pretty much be unpainted. So that's where you're going to see the difference in color. Just going to keep blotting, making sure I'm getting every spot. Occasionally I'll pat my sponge off on my paper towel if I feel it's getting really saturated with the paint and thinners. It can't really do its job to pick up and blend if the sponge is overly soaked. And I did, for this flesh wash, add the tiniest bit of orange, simply because I kind of wanted to warm their skin tone up a little bit in doing this flesh layer. Alright, that looks pretty good. So now you can see it definitely took a lot of that color off. The color is really not very different than the neck flange. It just gave it a bit more warmth and a bit more color. So I'm going to do this on the limbs and then on the other 2 kits. three kits have gotten their flesh wash layers. You can see they have just a bit more of a kind of healthy, more true to life skin tone now. And what I'm now going to work on is creasing. I'm going to use two different creasing colors. First I'm going to go in with this, it's almost like a, I don't know, a raspberry red color. It's got a bit of pink to it. And I'm going to go in with my purpley red and do that. So let's get going. So currently all three kits have received their first layer of creasing. I have yet to do the purple creasing just because I want to get another few layers in first before I go ahead and add that. So I think what I'm going to work on now is some blushing and maybe adding a few more layers of mottling to help intensify the realistic skin effect.